Hi, I'm George from Joypad. At Joypad, we provide retro video game entertainment for festivals, private parties, and our own events. As most of the equipment that we use is over 15 years old, occasionally some things need to be serviced or repaired. In this video, I'm going to show you the best way to clean up your old retro video game cartridges so that they load first time, every time. Now, the main problem you're going to have with cartridges when they don't load properly is that they're dirty. What happens is dirt gets inside the cartridge and gets on the contactors. This means that when you put the cartridge into the console, nothing happens. Now, to clean them properly, what we're going to need to do is take the cartridge apart, clean up all the contactors, put it back together. So for this retro repair, we're going to need the following equipment. We're going to need some isopropanol, which is electrical circuit board cleaner. You definitely want that, not white spirit, not thinners. Isopropanol. I'll put a link to that in the video description. Now we also need some wet wipes, we'll need some kitchen roll and some cotton buds. A specialist bit of tools that we'll need is these, which are security screw bits. They're for the backs of the cartridges because all of them have these individual security screws in them. The Nintendo ones are all the same, the Mega Drive ones are a different size. And I'll also put a link to those bits in the video description. So to show you the necessary steps to open up the cartridge, I'm going to use a Mega Drive cartridge. They're all practically the same. You'll just need to undo a couple of screws and the cartridges come apart. So I'm going to undo the two security screws on the back of this Mega Drive cartridge. Make sure you don't lose the screws, and it just comes apart. This is the circuit board inside, and these are your two bits of plastic case. Now, the first thing we'll do is clean up the cartridge case. So take one of your wet wipes, don't need the whole one, just tear a bit off, and clean away. Now, the labels that are on the outside, they're actually pretty resilient to this sort of stuff. You don't need to be too gentle with them unless they look particularly fragile. But I would say dry them off pretty quickly with that kind of sticker that has a plastic film over it. So if you've got some staining or an old sticker on there, you can normally get stuff off without doing too much damage, if any at all. Same with the other half. Make sure you get this nice and dry. If you need to leave it for a little bit just to dry out, that's a good idea. Okay, that looks good to me. Now, as for the circuit board itself, you want to take some of your isopropanol, which I've put in a little container dish here, and a cotton bud, dip it in, and then rub across these contacts, and you will get quite a lot of black stuff come off of there. The dirtier the cartridge, the more stuff will come off. Now, basically, rinse and repeat. Do the same thing over and over until you get to the point where there's nothing coming off of the contacts. And there we have it, that's done. Now, the half that has the upward prongs is the half that you want to put face down, and you slot the circuit board back in, put it back on, and drop your screws in. Now, when you're tightening the screws, don't over tighten them. They'll feel tight, but you shouldn't need to force it in. If you over tighten the screws, you can break the plastic of the cartridge. Yeah, and there we are. No rattles, all back together, and that's a clean cartridge that will load first time, every time. So, there we have it, the best way to clean up those old cartridges. Hopefully now there'll be no more blowing to make these games load up. For more retro repairs, replay videos, and news on upcoming events, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or why not go to our website www.joypadbar.co.uk, where you can subscribe to our mailing list. But until next time, it's goodbye from me.